Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely stream deck. For more information about the stream deck, the link is in the description below.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the AOR Hype Energy F1 Leagues. Well, we all hope you had a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, but it's time to get back down to the serious stuff here in AOR on Xbox, and it has to be said, we've had a bit of a revamp. Yes, that's 16 drivers on the grid. We've increased the number in the field. We've merged some of the dedicated drivers from Tier 1 and Tier 2 to make that action all the more exciting. It's a new year, it's a new decade, and I've got someone new joining me in the commentary box till the end of the season, with Justin pulling out. It's Jess alongside me for the remainder of the season. Jess, are you looking forward to start 2020 with this Japanese Grand Prix? It should be a thriller, shouldn't it?
Yes, I'm really excited. We've seen some great races in the past, in real life, obviously, with championship deciders and obviously the Senna Prost situation, and it's a driver favourite and it's a fan favourite as well. Lots of people go out to watch it, and with new bunch of drivers as well. I'm excited to get this year out with a bang.
Yeah, well, there is 5 races to go in this championship, and well, it almost feels like it's a brand new start, but no, absolutely not. There's a championship to be won, and it can be won today by Veloci Surprise. The man who did not finish in Russia last time out has an 87-point lead in the driver standings over CRG Pinecone at the moment. 87 points, 125 available going into this one, or 126, I suppose, if you include fastest laps, etc. Well, probably a little bit more than that if you add on 129, 130 or something like that. 130 it is with the fastest laps. He can win the title today if he can get his championship lead above, what would it be, about 103, 104? We'll try and do the maths because I forgot about the fastest lap. It's been that long since we were racing, but surprise, he can get it done today. It would take a good result from him and a not so good result from CRG Pinecone. But he started things off pretty well, Veloci Surprise. Let's pick him up at the moment. The man in the Alfa Romeo, or as he's out there at the moment, quickest of all, 127.2. But something I'm really interested to see, Jess, is just how well these F2 drivers get on. Can they bridge the gap and challenge some of these Tier 1 drivers? Because you would think there would be a bit of a field spread, but, you know, I've just got a good feeling that some of these F2 guys, they're going to grab this chance with both hands and compete right up towards the front of the grid. Is there anyone that stands out to you as someone that could challenge near the front?
Well, there's quite a lot of drivers that have done quite well in F2. A few I've commentated on in the past, actually. And since it's towards the end of the season, they got nothing to lose. They're not fighting for the championship. And it's kind of a little bit of a taster for next season, as it were, because next season is a short season. And if they obviously do well in this season of AOR in the last few races, then they can have a big chance of actually getting into the top tier of AOR next season. And there's a few that's caught my eye. Aaron Dazzler, I expect to do well as well. And we've got Flying Rosie, I think that's his name. He's in 5th at the moment, so he's one of the top F2 drivers as well. I'll just go through a few drivers that have moved up from F2 to F1. So we got Flying Rosie in the Racing Point. We've got Aaron Dazzler in the Red Bull. We've got TST Raikkonen in, it's at the Renault. We've got SSR Nicole in, I can't see the car, the Haas. LGS in the Renault. Adam Dude in the Toro Rosso. And CRG Lut in the Haas. And we got Catherine as well, but I don't know what car she's in and she's not here tonight, but I'm sure she'll be back here next week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what those F2 drivers do, and it should be a good one.
It should be a good one. I'm reading some comments already, and Shizu Shurira in the comments, it says Aaron is fast. He's also said that Rosie's quick in race pace, so that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. Good to see that people have been keeping up with some of the F2 guys and what their kind of pace is, so sure, we're going to have to see how they get on. But with 11 and a half minutes to go in the session, we've got 11 times out of 16 so far. It is Veloci's prize quickest, and unsurprisingly, alongside him so far is his nearest rival in the championship, CRG Pinecone. Let's pick up Pinecone at the moment. Is he on a quick one? I don't think so. I think that's an in-lap from him. Top 6 apart from him in the pits. So who else is out there going quickly then, Jess? Well, who can we find out there on a quick lap?
I think CRG Lutt might be on the lap.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's going through the S's now, just past the Dunlop curb. So yeah, he's looking not too bad at the moment, but I think he's going to get a bit of a toe from someone at the moment because he's managing his ERS, I think, perfectly because I'm guessing he wants to get a few laps in. And I would expect a lot of people to go on the soft. Tyre deg is not that crucial here, I think. So no matter what, it's going to be a one stop unless it rains and any wet weather throws in the mix. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm quite sure Adam is on the mediums, but I'm guessing he wants to have a different strategy and do medium to soft. I don't know, but if they were to go on the softs, probably about the mediums, I'll probably go about lap 12, I reckon. But yeah, CRG Lutt, he's going through the near to past 130R now. Just look at the speed that these cars are going through at the moment. It's just really high speed. It's great to have these engine sounds back again after a few weeks off as he goes around the Casio Triangle now. He's going to set competitive lap time. What could he get across the line? It's going to be a 127.2, and that's pole position. That is impressive. He's beat Veloce Surprise, but for how long?
Up there from CRG Lutt, previously known as Snazzy Evening. He's not actually finished a race, or well, he's missed 4 of the last 6 races, DNF the other 2. His last result was in Silverstone, which feels like an awful long time ago, but he finished in 8th place. But I was always interested to see what this man is capable of. The man born in Estonia, racing under the Finnish flag. And, well, that's a fantastic effort to go to the top of the timesheets in that Haas. Well, Happy New Year to him. Can he carry it on and really, you know, show some great pace in 2020? But that's a superb way to start for the man born in Estonia. 127.257. Surprising Pinecone. Well, that'll raise a few eyebrows to them as it looks like the Haas driver goes quickest of all. So great effort there from him. His best result this season has only been a 5th place. Well, he's looking good to end that very quickly here today with that strong qualifying effort early on in the session. Still a long way to go, of course, Jess, but, you know, that is a real marker laid down by CRG Lutt, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite close as well, so Surprise could throw something out of the bag, and so can Pinecone as well. Pinecone has done really well in qualifying in the last few races as well, so I think those top 3, it's going to be a really tight battle with 8 minutes to go in qualifying. Anything can happen, and one small mistake from these drivers, and then that's it. That's quality over for them, and they will probably have to start lower down in the field as well. Still 4 people yet to set a lap time, but I'm guessing they just want some clear air before they can get a lap in, and it is quite common to invalidate your lap here. And we got TRR Martin, who's done well in 5th as well, and Aaron Dazzler. Between Flying Rosie and Aaron Dazzler, they were rivals in F2. They're so close on pace at the moment. If I could just look at the leader, there we go. They are, I think it's about 9,000 separates those two. So I guess I think we'll see those two fighting for position quite a lot for the last few races, and so will the others as well, I think, Andy.
I tell you what, looking very tight in the midfield, as you say, Jess, but I tell you what, surprise there. He was a 10th up through the first sector on the quickest time so far, but in the end it aborted because of a mistake, I think, in the middle sector. So it wasn't to be for Surprise. Let's try and pick up Pinecone then. How's he getting on out there as he makes his way up through Dunlop, flat out through there, and now making his way down towards the end of that first sector? What's it going to be? He's found 300ths of a second through that first part of the lap. So he's edging closer and closer towards the top times that we've seen so far. Surprise abandoned that last one. What has Pinecone got up his sleeve as he goes on his way down into that hairpin, down at turn 11 where we saw Kobayashi earlier on in the previous decade? It seems so, wasn't that long ago, was it? It really was, when Kobayashi was making stunning moves when he was in the Sauber car racing in the early 2010s. It really does make me feel old, I've got to say that, as Pinecone makes his way now through the spoon curve and races on towards 130R. As Jess mentioned earlier, it really is high speed through here, and Pinecone is finding time. Nearly a tenth and a half, just over a tenth and a half, in fact quicker than his best lap up till now. Now just that final chicane and one last corner as he makes his way past the Ferris wheel. Can he go quickest of all here in qualifying? Pinecone for the line, yes he can, by around half a tenth of a second. He takes top spot away, and Lutt drops to second, but Surprise is going again, and he's picking up a toe, Jess, from AOR Franglish as he now makes his way towards 130R, and he's also finding time. Lots of it, almost 3/10 of a second. He could be the first man to dip into the 1 minute 26s. Here comes the Welshman round the final corner, gunning and hoping to take the title this weekend. Can he take top spot? Yes, he can. 1:26.997, and he is indeed the first man into the 1 minute 26s, sorry. Great effort there from Veloci Surprise, and that, Jess, is going to be very tough to beat.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think that toe really helped Veloci Surprise there going through 130R, and I will probably see a lot of other teammates actually probably try and use the toe just to try and get the speed, and I think that's a great time to use it. So Surprise, job well done there, and I think if he wants to win the title, he's at a perfect position right now.
A great job then from Surprise. It's just brilliant for Pinecone to be right up behind him, ensuring him that he doesn't win it as quickly as he would like. Let's have a look at T10 Amazed. In fact, let's not. He's 2.4 down on his best lap so far. So who else we got out there? What about Adam Dude down in 14th place at the moment? Let's watch him. He's found around half a second on this current lap. Let's see if he's going to challenge moving up from P14. He's quite a distance off the tail of the field at the minute. What's it going to be? He does make it up to P13 with a respectable 1:28.3. So good effort there from the Toro Rosso driver. A few more tenths and he'll find himself gaining quite a few positions. So life in AOR F1 proving tricky, but he's starting to find his feet in the early exchanges of this qualifying session. Who else is out there going quickly? What about Martin, Jess? Let's have a look at him. He's going quickly. He's 5th quickest at the moment, and I think last I saw he was around half a tenth up on his previous best. Let's see how he's going into 130R. Oh, a tenth and a half, Jess. Let's watch him.
Yes, he's looking very, very powerful as he goes through to the Casio Triangle now. He really wants to get up and possibly beat P1R Brown and Lutt, his biggest rivals in this league as well. He's going to try and take the shortest run to the line. Let's see what he could do. He improves, but he improves to P4. He beats P1R Brown, but he can't beat Snazzy Evening CRG Lutt in 3rd place. So times are pretty close up the top between 2nd all the way down to pretty much 7th place, so it's the tightest margin there, so any moment counts because the midfield battle in the championship is hotting up as well.
It really is hotting up. It's so close in the middle of that field, Jess, isn't it? Look at that, 8th down to 12th, 1/10 of a second. Really is good to see how tight it is there, and as you mentioned up the front as well, 2nd to 5th, 1/10 of a second as well. Great to see. Can anyone get on terms with Veloci Surprise as the session takes a little bit of a lull with 3 minutes to go? Almost everyone in the pits. So I've got SSR Nicole going out for a first run, T10 Amazed out there too, Bobbert's going out there, and I think Danny, is he on an in-lap? He's not on a quick one anyway, so we'll have to wait and see what Danny's doing. Martin obviously on a cool down, so we'll keep an eye on Danny. Is he pitting here?
Yes
he is. So let's look for the furthest round the racetrack. I would think it's SSR Nicole. It is indeed. So let's see what she can do on her first flying lap in AOR F1, Jess.
Yes, and I think this is the first female I've seen in Xbox One Europe. I've seen one in Xbox One Oceania, but I've never seen a female compete in the top tiers like ever. So she's making history today, seeing what she can do anyway. So she's representing the woman. Actually, we'll have 2 females because Catherine's not here. So that'll be a record in AOR. Nice to see. We've got a diverse grid here today. It is not just male. All genders are welcome anyway. So yeah, it just goes to show anyone could go out there and race each week. So it's good to see.
Absolutely, Jess. I echo exactly what you're saying. I think it's absolutely fantastic to see our first female in the AOR F1, and as you say, not 1, 2. So it's great to see, and I hope that SSR Nicole can put in a good show here and get herself off to a flying start. She's leaving it late, 1 lap only in this qualifying session from her. So let's see what it's going to be. She might squeeze another one out. We'll have to wait and see as she makes her way through the hairpin on her first effort in AORF1 on this lovely 18-turn circuit. It really is one of the best racetracks on the Formula One calendar, up there with the likes of Monza and the likes of Silverstone and Spa. The one they all want to win is SSR Nicole then on this lap, making her way down through Spoon Curve and towards the end of the lap in the Haas. Is our teammate finds himself up in third place at the moment. CRG Luck, where can she go? Let's have a look and see. 111.7 through that middle sector. Just the final sector of the lap to go then, as she makes her way now through that gas seal triangle, slightly wide on the way in, and now up towards the final corner and across the line. CRG Luck retires, and as the car gets in the way there of SSR Nicole, how unfortunate is that? It ruins our next lap too, and that's very unfortunate. Losing a hatful of time there as the retired car popped up in front of her screen, and she ends with a 1:29.3. Very unfortunate there for her. And that's a real shame, isn't it, Jess?
Yeah, it is. But again, it's her first race in F1, so she's still trying to get to learn the ropes of being in the top tier. It is hard. We've seen drivers who are in the top tier may not do quite as well, but again, it's not a full season, so these are just pretty much tasters for these drivers, just to get a feel for how the racing is like. And I'm sure with every lap she does, she wants to improve, and I'm sure she's going to try and do that in the race today, as well as the other drivers too.
Tell you what, Jess, Pinecone looking very good through the second sector. He's finding time. What is it going to be enough to put him into the 26s? Surely if he does go into the 26s, it will be enough to topple the pole man, the man chasing the title, Pinecone. Oh, look how close that is. Oh, very, very close. 300ths of a second, and Pinecone has done it. For a moment there, I thought that they were dead level on the times. They weren't though, there was a digit different, and Pinecone has done it for now. Pinecone on top. Pamela Brown now goes third quickest. There'll be no improvement from CRG Lutt. As you remember, he retired moments ago. Surprise and Martin will be the final men over the finish line, so we'll come to them last. Who else is out there capable of going quickly? Aaron's seen the flag. He's 7th. Let's have a look at the ever reliable Jason 97 F1 as he is on a quick lap in that McLaren, making his way down towards 130R, a 111.3 to that sector. He's finding a very small amount of time. I don't think it's going to be enough to move him up from 6th place, because he's got 3 attempts to find if he wants to get anywhere near the time of Martin. Here comes Jason then. Is he just going to try and consolidate P6? It probably will be, and he does consolidate P6 with a solid effort. Aaron, fair play to him, by the way, 7th quickest on his debut, beating a few of the F1 guys. Danny, though, is out there trying to stop that from happening. He's 8th at the minute, and he's on a 1:27.782 and going quicker than his previous best. Round the final corner, welcome Danny F31. Is he going to move up into the top 6? No, he stays 7th, and Aaron has got a scalp on debut. Where is surprise though? Here he is in the final chicane. Is he going to be able to find the 300ths of a second he needs to regain pole position and start 2020 with a bang? Oh, he sure does. 1:26.6. That is an absolutely astounding effort from Surprise. Martin pops into third quickest, and I think that is that because LGS is in the pits, and indeed it is. And when Veloci Surprise needed to pull the rabbit out of the hat, he sure did, Jess, and he starts 2020 as he means to go on. Brilliant stuff.
Yep, he got the first pole of 2020, and all drivers will want to do that, and the first pole of the Xbox One at the decade as well, so I'm sure he'll be happy about that. And the pro draft will be starting soon as well, so that will help him practice for that, and that will just get his season off to a high at the moment. He's the one to watch out for, and he wants to take that title today.
Look at that for a lap time.
Wow.
1:26.653 from Veloci Surprise. You said the pro draft is coming soon, Jess. Well, if you're an F1 team and you're watching, surely this man has got to be at the top of your list. Surprise on top then. He's 3/10 clear of his nearest rival in the championship, CRG Pinecone, who completes the front row. What an effort from Martin. He might be half a second away, but he'll be pleased with third. Pamela Brown in 4th. CRG Lutz starts the year from P5. 6th for Jason. Aaron Dazzler, he's the highest result from an F2 driver in 7th. Danny F31, 8th. 9th is Bobberts, and TST Raikkonen rounds out the top 10. Just outside the top 10, Flying Rosie was 11th. T10 Amaze was 12th, AR Franglish was 13th, and Adam Dude was 14th. I don't know who was after that. Thankfully, Jess, I was watching the YouTube screen there after it disappeared, so I got a little bit more of it than I was hoping. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get the rest of the grid on the formation lap. It's a beautiful day, sunny conditions, and no chance of rain by the looks of it to open the 2020 racing, Jess.
I think the drivers will be relieved about that, Andy, because they don't want to start with yucky conditions, but we've seen a spanner in the works where it has been sunny at the start and rainy at the end, but it looks like that's not going to happen today, as all the drivers are raring to go for tonight's proceedings, and they're also going to decide, the bottom half are going to decide at least, what tyres they're going to start for the Grand Prix. Are they going to go the same as the top 10 and go for the softs, or are they going to go for the medium compound tyre? I don't think the hards are going to be in use today, unless they may have enough in the opening couple of laps, or if they're struggling a little bit. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Where the top 10, they have to start on the tyres they set their fastest lap on, which I believe is on the softs. Yes, it is. And we've got the top 10 on the softs. The bottom half have all opted for the medium compound tyres, Andy.
Oh, that's very interesting, isn't it, Jess? It suggests to me that, if it was a race where it was a damp qualifying and a dry race, it suggests to me that everyone would have went for the mediums, because if everyone that does have free tyre choice in this race goes for the mediums, as they have, 11th to 16th, so I'm sure the top 10 would have wanted to do that. But as you said, yep, you have to start on the tyres you qualify on, and that's exactly what the top 10 have done with the soft compound. So it'll be interesting to see, Jess, when the pit stop window comes in, if the likes of Flying Rosé, T10 Amaze, AR Franglish and so on are going to get involved with the battle up front. I mean, they won't intentionally want to be involved in it, but that sometimes that can happen, can't it? Because we know it will be very tight at the front. We know how difficult it is, even with that 3/10 margin that Surprise had there. We know how difficult it is to pull away on this game. The DRS is so powerful, the slipstream is so powerful. But I've spoken to Surprise recently in other league races, and it was at a track, this very track in Japan, where he tries so hard earlier on in the race to break that DRS, and when he runs out of ERS, when he's broken it, he just gets reeled back in. So it'll be interesting to see what his strategy will be today, Jess. What do you think? Do you think he'll go for it early on, or do you think he'll just sit there and wait for the pit stops?
I think he'll try to pull off a gap as much as possible, and then when he sees that gap and when he knows that he can go comfortably in the lead, that's when he can pit. And it's a gamble if he goes earlier on lap 9, I reckon. So if it's any time after lap 9, I think he should be all right. But knowing him,
Jess, sorry, I thought I nearly lost you there. Are you there, Jess?
Yeah, I'm there.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm there. Hello. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? So I think we're trying to get the Discord sorted, but I think we got lights out for the opening race of the Japanese Grand Prix, and looks like Veloce Surprise has got off to a cracking start into turn 1, and so is Pinecone as well. Bobbers is up a position, up into P6, and so is Raikkonen's dropped down in position. Aaron's dropped down in position as well, but you can see Veloce Surprise is pulling away like a hawk at the moment. He's doing very well. He's doing absolutely fantastic. So let's see where he can handle on the top of the field. Martin is staying in third. Lutt in fourth place. P1R Brown is looking impressive, and the Williams just go past the Dunlop and towards the hairpin at the moment. Actually, no, it's not Dunlop. It's a dead in the curve. Excuse me a minute, but there we go. As all Martin's going to try and go around the outside of Pinecone. He couldn't quite do it at the moment, and it's not going to work out by the looks of things, so he stays in third place. Look at the gap that Veloce Surprise has pulled up already, about 9 tenths, and we've got a bit of action down the back. I think Adam Dude, has lost it. Yes, he has. I think he's lost a bit of time up front. So yeah, I'm just trying to get back into the Discord. We're having issues. Hold on a second. This is not what we would like to do. Discord playing up. It's probably due to the fact that my internet has gone a bit of kaboot. But we'll have to wait and see. But we will carry on as we mean to go on anyway. As we've got Lutt going to try go around the outside of Martin into turn 1. He tries to leave a little bit of room there, but luckily, Lutz is going to try, I think, pretty soon to try and get that move. So that's what he's going to try and do anyway. So, yeah, as soon as we can get Andy back, we will get Andy back. But at the moment, I think it's just me at the moment while he tries to sort his Discord out. But we've got quite a bit of action in the midfield happening as well. We've got Danny F31 on the charge of Jason I7 F1. 2 F1 rivals this season have been fighting pretty much every race that I've commentated with them at least. So they're going to try past the hairpin as well. And the biggest gainer for the F2 is Aaron Dazzler. Even though they dropped position, he is still the leading person at the moment to try and gain some time, which is great to see from him. And yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any more close action up the back. We've got SSR on the car as well, on LGS as well. Let's see what they can do towards Spoon Curls as well. Don't forget, 130R, the DRS won't be in action until the start, well, basically the start of lap 3. So they won't be able to enable that. All they're going to rely on is Slipstream, and looks like Surprise is trying to break that pretty quickly. And yes, he does already. Veloce Surprise already 1.1 seconds behind Pinecone. This is just what he needs. And Pinecone will need to finish 4th if Surprise wants to take the title today. So at the moment, Pinecone is doing all he needs. And all we've got retirement, we've got Franguish that's out of the session. So he is not going to have enough time. And I think Andy's back. Can you hear me?
Oh, Jess, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yay!
Hey,
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, what a time for it to do that right before the start of the race. I don't even know what happened. It just stopped connecting to you. But
yeah,
yes,
I thought it was me.
back.
I thought it was me, but
it was definitely me. It was me. I was like, what's going on here? But anyway, I'm back. I've missed all 3 laps trying to panic to try and get things back. But yes, we are back, and we have got Veloci Surprise, as I was listening to you, Jez, pulling away already to the tune of 1.4 seconds. He is flying out front and doing exactly what he needs to do. The big mover, though, SSR Bobberts, up 3 places from 9th in the grid to 6th. So great job there from SSR Bobberts.
Yeah, Bobbert's doing brilliantly. Obviously, we've seen Bobberts actually go higher up in the grid recently in a few other races, and then he just started to lose a bit of ground. But I think that's what he decided to qualify in midfield and then try and make his way up the field, and that is what he's doing. And I think that's worked out better for him, and he's gained the most pretty much out of everyone, and he's looking to try and score some more points.
He's under some pressure, though. He might have gained the place, but he's now under pressure from Jason, and the McLaren will fly past into the first corner. Jason 97 F1 puts a lovely move on the fast starting Bobberts, and well, he had gained 3 places from the start. Make that 2, because Jason has gained that place back and is back up into P6. So tidy stuff there from Jason. And yeah, he's got a bit of ground to make up now to get up to the back of Pimona Brown, who is a full 1.3 ahead of him then. So yes, it's going to settle into the start of this Grand Prix. The first 4 laps out of 27 ahead of these drivers. It is a track that you can overtake, and it's usually down into that first corner where we've just seen Jason make a move. We have someone off, and that is LGS in the gravel trap at Dunlop, Jess. So I don't know what's happened there. I can only presume he's either ran wide or he's had contact with someone or something, but he seems to have rejoined, but he's all the way down at the back, and now he's spun again as soon as he rejoins. So yeah, struggling with tyre temperature, I think. Lost the heat of the tyres, dirt on the tyres, and his race is pretty much run from there. Let's move further up towards the front of the field, because Martin is 1.2 behind Pinecone, will not have DRS. CRJ Lutt, though, certainly does, and he's tucked right up behind TRL Martin, who's in that Alfa Romeo, and he's going for the move here, CRJ Lutt, isn't he? Down the inside, into the chicane he goes, and he dives through. And as Nico Hulkenberg once said, see you later, says CRJ Lutt, and he makes the move on TRL Martin and moves up into 3rd position. Tidy stuff there, just as Hulkenberg did. I'm not too sure if he said it on the radio, but you know, in case he didn't, I'll say it for him. And through goes Lutt up into 3rd place. Tidy stuff that, Jess, wasn't it? You don't often see a move there. It's usually in turn 1.
Yeah, he was very tidy, and people are probably asking a question, did he send it? And of course he did send it, and he did absolutely beautifully. And he's going to possibly chase down Pinecone as well. It's going to be a tall order, but he is hungry for it. He wants to get higher than 3rd place, but I'm sure he'll be happy there for now. He's doing a cracker job, as well as the guys trying to catch up throughout the field too.
Yeah, let's have a look through that midfield then. Two Ferraris very close to each other, 7th and 8th. SSR Boberts and Danny F31. It looks like the top 8 are all of the F1 originals. Aaron Dazzler, who was the surprise package or the star of the show from the F2 guys that have moved up, has dropped back a little bit, down to 9th place now. Dropped a couple of places, but, you know, we can't blame him. First ever start, doing reasonably well and, you know, flying the flag from the former F2 category. So what can he do then? He's tucked up behind those two Ferraris, and let's see how he gets on. But Pinecone dropping back 1.8 now off the tail of Veloci Surprise. Where's the moves going to be, Jess? Let's have a look through the field. Probably going to be that Ferrari, isn't it? The Ferrari's against Aaron Dazzler. That looks like the closest area of the track. Is Jason going to be under threat from Boberts going into the first corner? There's a 4-car scrap, the McLaren, the two Ferraris and that Red Bull. So here comes SSR Boberts. Is he going to be close enough for a run into turn 1? Not at all. He's just planning on saving that battery up. And we see this very often, don't we, Jess? Drivers not interested in going for that move because they know if they get ahead, they've got to start defending and using their battery up. They'd rather just sit there and charge the battery, wouldn't they?
Yes, I was doing a few laps of Japan before this race, and that was the thing I found an issue with. It was during the S section when people were trying to overtake me. I had to save my battery up as soon as I got overtaken because I was using so much going on to ERS mode 4. So I think that's what these drivers are doing at the moment. I do believe we lost a driver. That's LGS. He's out of the race. So unfortunately he won't be playing further part. But looks like Bobbers is just saving every bit of his battery right now. And so is Danny as well. So it looks like both of these guys are working together, trying to get a bit of the toe if possible as well. That's going to really benefit Danny as well, going through across 130R. That's going to possibly prevent Aaron Dazzler from making a move across towards the Casio Triangle, I'm almost certain to think. So that's probably going to help. So Bobbers is probably going to play a little bit of a team game maybe, but he's got a battle of his own to fight. He's right on the cusp of trying to overtake Jason 97 F1, but he's not going to try through 130R by looks of things. He's backed out just a little bit more. I think he's been pushing a little bit too much, but I'm sure he's going to try and push when he needs to at the start, finish straight as well. This is where the battle is lying at the moment. This is getting very tense, Andy.
Yeah, he's gone into mode 4. Boberts is going to go for it this time. You know, he's gone back into mode 1. He's teasing us. He's even lifted out of the DRS. He even stopped the DRS from opening and they would run down a turn 1. He didn't want to make the move. Coming out of the final corner, went into mode 4, lined up as if he was going to go for it, then got halfway down the straight and went, nah, I'm just going to sit here. And that's exactly what we see so often on the F1 game these days. I'm interested to hear what you guys think in the comments. Are you a fan of all this ERS management? Is the slipstream too powerful? What's your thoughts? Does it impact the racing? Does it make it more exciting? I'm always interested to hear what you guys think because it's always an interesting topical discussion. Me personally, Jess, I'm old school. I like the good old days on F1 2010 where there was no DRS, there was no errors or cares. It was just pure racing, and that's what I loved. I enjoyed that most back in the day. I don't know what you prefer, Jess, but you know, I much prefer just straight up wheel-to-wheel action than this tactical carry-on.
Yeah, I've got to agree, and you can do that on the F1 2010 cars, pretty much all the classic cars on this game, so you will get a bit of an experience anyway, and I think that's why I like driving the classic cars more. And this is where Bobbers can try. He's going to try once again, then this time, this is the moment he wants to go for it. He's on ERS mode 4, he's on overtake, he's going to try to move on Jason. No, he backs off again, Andy. He's cheating us once again. I don't know when he's going to try and go for the move. I'm guessing he just wants, as Jason is in the pits. The first of the soft ones in the pits, so is CRG Pinecone as well. Both on the medium compounded tyres, a lap earlier than we were expecting, but I'm sure that's going to help Bobbers out as he's going to be on fresher tyres. And he's chasing his teammate. Oh, Aaron Dazzler's just on the back of Danny. Just look at this. He's finding a little bit more time at the moment. This is where, Andy, the soft runners are going to start to struggle.
That might allow some of the medium guys like Fly and Rosie to get onto the tail of these guys pretty soon. But just a quick one on Pinecone. He really needed to make that pit stop if he wanted to have any chance of keeping with Surprise. It might allow him to pull the undercut. Surprise is always one that likes to do his own thing. He'll come into the pits when he feels it's the right time. Doesn't bother if it allows people to get closer to him. He just feels that it's all about having the right tyres at the end of the race when it matters. So we might see Pinecone moving into position to get back within DRS or even take the lead of this Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see when Surprise makes the call for the pits. But some early stops there. Jason, one of them, Pinecone, the other. So let's see how it pans out for them. But this is still the battle on track. Oh, Aaron Dazzler, big slide. I don't know if you were watching there, Jess, or picking him up.
No, I just caught it.
Massive slide going through the sprint corner, and he just about scooped it up with his spoon and carried on, because that was nearly a big moment. We should probably move up to P1R Brown, actually, because he's right behind TRL Martin. Are either of those drivers going to come into the pits on this lap? P1R Brown is. He's coming in that little bit earlier than Martin to go for that undercut. And as I said, as CRG Luck comes in as well, Veloci Surprise going that bit longer. He's quite happy to do his own thing, Jess. He always does. And it's all about having the right tyres at the end. And he feels this is the way to do it, even if he loses track position to the other drivers in this race. So let's see how he gets on. What's happened to Pinecone? Why is he so far back? No, he's not. He's okay. I was wondering why he hadn't overtaken those guys in the pits yet, but he has now. So let's see how Pinecone gets on. I'm going to load up the gap to the leader rather than the interval. Pinecone is 23.6 seconds off the lead of this race, and he's having a slide as Pinecone, as I picked him up there through the middle sector, through the first sector, sorry. A big slide for him, and he's going to lose time there, and he has lost time. I just said 23.6, it's now 24.7 as a result of that slide. So Pinecone there really hurting his chances if he wants to get ahead of Veloci Surprise in the pit stop phase, and that probably has ended all hope, Jess.
Yes, because a pit stop around here is usually around 22 to 23 seconds. So unfortunately, if Pinecone wants to be ahead of Surprise, his chances have pretty much faded. He's got to make sure that he can get his life into his tyres and make sure he can start to push. But I'm guessing he's finding it difficult to warm his tyres up, because it does take longer on this track. And I think Surprise is going into the pits now. Yes, he is. He is going to go on. I'm surprised. I thought Martin was going to go on to the pits first to cover off his teammate, but I'm guessing Surprise wanted to challenge Pinecone quite early on, because he knew possibly that he might be pushing. So here's comes Surprise on those mediums. Where is Pinecone at the moment? We've also got the likes of Aaron Dazzler, Bobbert, Raikkonen also in the pits as well. Pinecone is going to come across the line now, and we've got Pinecone a little bit of traffic as well. That's probably not going to help much, because he's got traffic with SSR and the Cole too. And where's Veloci Surprise? He's comfortably ahead of CRG Pinecone. Let me get the gap again. Interval it's about 2 or 3 seconds, Andy. Surprise has absolutely smashed it.
He's absolutely flying. That small slide from Pinecone would not have made an ounce of difference, would it? It really has been a masterful performance so far from Veloci Surprise, and he's done the difficult bit already, Jess. He's broke that DRS, he's done the pit stop, fresher tyres, and I think he's going to disappear up the road from here on. I cannot see how anyone is going to stop this man from going on and winning this Grand Prix and extending his championship lead further. The only bad news for Surprise is that Pinecone is keeping it alive for one race more, it would seem, as things stand.
Yeah, and I think Pinecone is just making sure, and he's going to try and get past traffic now, and as he does, as he goes past Nicole, which is what he wants to do anyway. And even though every race, Andy, it's going to get really, really hard to try and keep the championship fight alive, I'm sure Pinecone is going to be loving the challenge. Everyone would want to see this go to the final race, but it's going to be a tough move for him. But if he wants to try and climb up the order, he's got to finish no lower than 4th place if he wants to take the title. So he's got to finish 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or win. And obviously with still the medium guys left to pit, he should be alright, as Martin is in the pits then, so Surprise's teammate is going into the pit, so that will promote Pinecone up a position. So yeah, Pinecone will be comfortably in 4th place, and I think we saw people going side by side there. I wasn't sure who it was.
Yep. It was just the 2 Haas cars that were just overtaking Nicole. No major move, Jess, just as expected really, with the pit stop change. But just one thing to note, Martin is now behind P1R Brown, so P1R Brown did get that jump. I believe they were the other way around before the stops, and as you'd expect with P1R Brown going 2 laps earlier, he's come out now ahead of Martin. The big question will be, can Martin get himself back ahead, Jess? Because he's 1.6 behind, fresher tyres. That's going to be one to watch for the remainder of the race, isn't it?
Yes, and I think he did the right thing to pit when he did, because it's also going to help in the constructors as well. So I'm sure he can try and catch up really soon. P1R Brown, he's on much older tyres, so that's going to benefit Martin when he can start to save now, and then he can push towards the end, and that's what P1R Brown is probably going to try to do. But it may be too little too late for Brown to do anything really, because the gap is already starting to... Brown can see Martin in his mirrors. He is pushing to try and make sure that he can get past this traffic. He's got to really, because the more that you're behind another car which is not in the same strategy as you, it's going to hinder your chances even more. So he's got to get past as soon as possible, because Martin could catch up any minute.
Absolutely, as Falot's surprised, by the way, looks like he's just going to make that move into the... yeah, he is. He's going to cruise past down the start-finish straight, so that's one less car he needs to worry about in his quest for victory. But as you say, let's go back to P1 Brown, and here he goes on Nicole, down the inside, and just like surprise, it's easy enough into that first corner, and P1 Brown makes that move, puts that car between he and Martin, and it makes life a little bit easier for himself. So P1 Brown up to 7th, Martin then, the pressure still on him. If he wants to get onto the tail of P1 Brown, he's actually dropping back a little bit off the tail of P1 Brown, even with Brown making that move. And Jason now is only 7/10 behind Martin as well. So Martin, since his pit stop, that lapping a bit hasn't been the greatest few laps of his life. He's dropped a few tenths to P1 Brown and allowed Jason to get within range. So that's going to be one to watch as well, as CRG Luck now in 6th place. Looks like he's about to get his way past Adam Dood. And if he can maybe apply some pressure to CRG Pinecone as well, Jess.
This could spice up before you know it. So if you're watching this, fasten your seatbelts, because you never know. Lutz could catch up to Pinecone and try and get the 5th or 4th place that he needs to try and stop Pinecone from winning this championship. If Pinecone's lower than 4th, then that's it. And I think that's what Lutz is going to probably try and do. Will he be helping Surprise or will he be helping Pinecone? I don't know, but Lutz is just looking so fast at the moment in the way that he's managing his tyres, and due to the tyre difference between Lutz and Pinecone, Lutz might have this in the bag, but never say never to Pinecone, as we're starting to see penalties. I think the Cole's got his 2nd or 3rd, I think, as we got Lutz that just got past Adam, so comfortably past there.
Tidy stuff from Lutz, as we expect, with the difference in the tyres, the traction out of that final corner, and he breezes through up into 5th place. I think Martin off screen there, I don't know if you caught it, just found a way through on SSR Nicole as well. Again, same scenario, much fresher tyres, and it's an easy move down the start finish straight and up into 8th place then for TRL Martin. The grid's starting to take shape as well, wait the pit stops, but Pinecone now, let's keep an eye on this. He's caught T10 Amaze, not in an area of the racetrack where you want to, and that will allow Luck to get ever closer as Pinecone nudges the back of T10 Amaze. He's saying, get on with it, come on, I'm in a race here, I want to finish 2nd to this Grand Prix. But he's going to struggle, because here comes Luck already within 7/10. We said it a lap ago, Jess, get the popcorn out, folks. There is going to be quite the scrap for 2nd place developing here, because T10 Amaze has not helped Pinecone at all here. Not his fault, because it's just the case that Pinecone's found him in a racetrack, a part of the track where you can't go side by side, and now Luck is right there, and Pinecone's made an error. He's gone wide, and he's cracked under the pressure, and through goes the Estonian. CRG Luck taking the place, and that's a net P2, and now Pinecone is under threat from Adam Dood into 130R, but Pinecone just got enough pace to hold him off. But that was the mistake, that was the pressure, that's what I was talking about pre-race, about when you're trying to get past cars you're not racing with, sometimes the pressure can tell, and it told there for Pinecone, and Luck hoovers it up and takes net 2nd place, I should say.
I think I can sense the pressure from Pinecone now, because he wants to...
He's
off!
Oh, Luck didn't need to go for that at all, Jess, and he's gone spinning off into the barrier and out of contention for a strong result. He gets back on the circuit, but that was a little bit too aggressive. The gap disappeared. He didn't need to make that move. He made it, and it resulted in the wedge always shutting, and off he went into the barrier, and surprised, his race isn't over. That was crazy. What was he trying that for? He'd made the move. He found 2nd place. That was as good as it was going to get. And off he went, and that's ruined his hopes of a good result, Jess, hasn't it?
That's not going to help his tyres at all, because we can see Bobberts, he's going to start chasing soon on much newer tyres. Bobberts can really go and get some points here today, and Luck will probably be laughing at this, but probably Luck will probably be ahead of him anyway, because Bobberts has got quite a few penalties where Luck hardly has any. But I don't know how Lutz saved it, to be honest. If I was him, I probably would have gone into the wall and damaged the front wing, but that's how good these drivers are in the top tier. They deserve to be there due to the car control, and he managed to save that from getting that much damage. Lutz is going to go side by side. into 130R, and I think he's going to challenge the Cole, and obviously with the fresher tyres, Luck gets past him again. But Bobberts is really catching up now. Bobberts can see his chance going into the Casio triangle. He wants to be ahead of him right now. We got Pinecone, who's just got past Amaze as well, so he's 6 seconds behind his next traffic anyway. But let's jump to the battle with Bobberts. We're going to see Bobberts going round the outside. Here he goes. Oh, what a send! Oh, Lot spun again. Lot spun again in the same spot, Andy.
That's not the track layout. That's not how you take turn one. I know it's 2 laps in a row. Oh dear, it's a shame. Contact there between he and Danny. I think it was Danny, was it? Or was it Bobberts? Sorry.
It was Bobberts.
Goodness me. And Luck goes round into a spin again. I'm about to watch it on the replay just because I've got the stream next to me. I should also mention, Surprise got a 5-second time penalty.
Ouch.
When the 2 Haas cars were going side by side. I'm just watching it again. That looks like a bit of a racing incident there between Bobberts and Luck. They just brushed wheels together. Hard to really lay the blame at either door there. Certainly Luck was to blame by putting the nose on in a silly place on the previous lap, but not there. Jess, are you seeing something?
Yeah, P1R Brown has easily caught up to Pinecone due to the Pinecone's mistake earlier on. This is coming to affect P1R Brown a lot. We've seen P1R Brown have glorious victories when you least expect it, and he can get some good points here today as well. He's saving his ERS when he can. I don't think he's going to challenge for the move yet. Pinecone is going to try and defend, and he does as well. All this battling is allowing Surprise to catch up, to to increase the gap even more. He's got to really, because otherwise there's going to be the likes of either Pinecone or P1R Brown taking the victory. So Surprise must be loving us right now, and no, he's not going to. Martin on Adam. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, yeah, he's on the back of this now. He's on the back of this now. This is going to get feisty.
Yeah, it's getting very, very close in that scrap, isn't it? But, you know, it's a real opportunity missed here for the likes of Pinecone and Luck, because it's Surprise picking up that 5-second penalty. But it's not going to bother him because he's a full 9 seconds up the road. The drivers behind Surprise have not been able to put a good race together. And with that penalty of 5 seconds, it really has let them off the hook, hasn't it? But look at the scrap going on here. This is absolutely crazy. Pinecone, Brown and Martin all in there together. I feel that CRG Luck's going to be kicking himself. An opportunity potentially missed here to capitalise on Surprise getting that 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, I feel bad for Luck, because it would have turned into a 4-way or even 5-way scrap if Luck didn't make that mistake. So it would have been nice to see him up there, but we're still getting a scrap anyway, and this is all we need. A great way to kickstart 2020, as I nearly said 2019. I'm still not getting used to this, but here we go. P1R Brown's going to try once again. He's got more ERS to play with this time. He's on 50% ERS. He's going to try and challenge it. Does he back off just a little bit? Pinecone's going to try and defend to the outside. Here they go into the Casio triangle. Look at Martin as well. He's caught up quite a lot to this bunch as well. Martin can come into play. If either of these two make a mistake, Martin's going to challenge right now. He's got the DRS, so does P1R Brown, but who's going to take advantage of it? Martin's going to go to the inside, but no. He decides back out. Oh, look at this. Martin almost tried to switch battle. My, oh my, Martin is on the charge. He wants that podium spot, and he's looking favourite right now.
Martin trying everything, Jess, and up his back pocket. He's trying everything, all sorts of lines to try and get his way alongside Pinecone and P1R Brown, but it's not happening at the moment. Only one driver, I think, out there yet to make a stop, and that is Flying Rosie in second place. He's well up the road from this scrap. He is putting in a great race shift, as someone mentioned earlier on in the comment section. It's been a great first stint from him, but it's all about this. Pinecone, and look at Martin! In the Silver, in the Alpha, rolling back the years like Kobayashi once did. And is he going to make that move? On the exit, side by side they go, and TRL Martin pulls off a stunning move, an early contender for Move of the Year. Potentially not Move of the Decade, that would maybe be a stretch, but that's a beautiful move from TRL Martin, pulling out the Kobayashi-esque stuff in the Alfa Romeo, and he makes his way up into fourth place and a potential podium spot. Lovely stuff there from TRL Martin. Next up on his radar is CRG Pinecone. Take a bow, TRL Martin. Is he going to go and make it two moves in a sequence of half a sector, half a lap? Let's see. Martin round the final corner. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's got the DRS open. Pinecone defends to the pit wall. Martin It's all over the racetrack. Down the inside he goes. Oh, that was almost, tears there. That was absolutely incredible stuff. Martin dancing left and right all over the road, looking for a space, and he didn't do what we seen from CRG earlier, and that was drive into a wedge that was going to disappear. Clever driving from Martin, playing the percentage game, but he is really aggressive to start this new year, and I love to see it. Wonderful move on Fiona Brown, almost another daring dive on CRG Pinecone. Let's just have a look at this. Is he going to try the same move again into the hairpin? Is TRL Kobayashi going to go for it again? Martin then, is he going to go for it once more? He's trying it, he's thinking about it, but he stays on the outside, and thinks better of it. Breathe, folks. Take a breath, because I'm struggling here. Brilliant stuff from Martin. A great entertainer, Jess.
Yeah, he is. It's taken me back to the good old days when I've been watching him in old AOR races, seeing him battling at the front with the likes of T1R Limitless as well. But this time he's fighting with the likes of Pinecone and P1R Brown. It's just great to see him absolutely pulling off his weight at the moment, and he's definitely the one to watch in this Grand Prix. He must be loving this. These guys love battles, and this is what they're showing today. As well, it looked like Martin was going to go for a move then on 0ERS. That would have been a rave as well. But whilst we're watching this as well, we've got Jason 97 F1 on the back of P1R Brown as well. If this day cannot get any better, Jason is trying to spoil the party as well. Oh my God, Martin!
Look at Martin right round the outside. He goes this time. Can he make it work? No, he can't. He's squeezed out by Pinecone, but Martin there is pulling all the tricks out of the box. He's going side by side through the S's, round the outside, now onto the inside, going into the entrance to Dunlop. Has Martin found a way through? I do not believe it. He has found a way through in the SE section. Martin. Oh my goodness! If this is what we're going to see from this man in 2020, I'm all for it. This is brilliant stuff from TRL Martin. Two daring moves to make it stick. One on P1R Brown at this very hairpin, and one which took an age to set up, dancing left and right, taking all sorts of lines through the SE section. It was like watching Verstappen in the wet through there, although it's dry. Absolutely astonishing stuff from Martin, and he takes second place. Unbelievable, Jess. I can't believe this.
Martin, take a bow. He's done very well, but look, Jason 97 F1, he's on the charge as well. He's got past P1R Brown into 130R. Just look at him. He's going to try and get past Pinecone as well if this is not over as well. And we've also got SR Bobbers joining it as well. We're finding it hard to catch our breath here. There's just so much going on, but Martin, the move of the stream so far, absolutely incredible. It's like, I agree, it's like we're watching Verstappen, and pretty much Verstappen versus Leclerc, it was almost looking like it. It's crazy. Oh my word, it's going very tasty around here. Jason's going for it too. Oh my word, can Jason do it, Andy?
I don't know who's going to do anything now. I said a moment ago Martin might have got move of the year, maybe not quite the decade. I think that one might have been move of the decade. That was absolutely incredible, that one on the previous lap. I mean, that's two stunning moves.
The chat's loving it. The chat's loving it.
No wonder they're loving it. It's absolutely brilliant. I'm absolutely gobsmacked by what I've seen. Can Jason live up to it? Can Pinecone? There's so many cars fighting in one piece of racetrack at the moment. We've got 5 different constructors. Alfa, Mercedes. We've got a McLaren, a Williams, and a Ferrari all in there fighting for the podium spots. Meanwhile, Surprise has disappeared up the road. I mean, to be honest, who cares? Who actually cares? This is actually unbelievable what we're watching here. I'm sorry, Surprise, but this is just fantastic stuff. Martin, though, bit between his teeth. He's left Pinecone for dead, and it's now all about whether Jason can make the move on Pinecone, because he's looking very racy in that McLaren. Pinecone has just been going backwards all race long, and he's under real threat now from Jason. Is Jason going to try and make a move into the chicane? We know Jason usually likes to play the percentage game. So let's see then, as he makes his way coming out of that final corner, past that Ferris wheel, is Jason 97 F1 going to go for that move on Pinecone as they make their way across the line to start lap number 21 out of 27. Jason switching to the outside, there's no way through, and it remains the way they were, but look how close they are, separated by absolutely nothing. I tell you what, Flying Rosie has just gone up into his 8th place, and he's on the soft tyres. 7 seconds to make up Can he get onto the tail of that group and cause an upset, Jess? It's a tall order, but the way they're battling, he could catch them hand over fist.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to Flying Rosie, but as we've seen people in the chat saying how he is quick when he goes on the alternate strategy, so I could expect him to catch up to Aaron Dazzler, his F2 rival, very, very quickly. So watch out for these two, but we're still watching the battle unfold from 3rd place all the way down to 6th, potentially 7th as well, as the Red Bull of Aaron Dazzler is also going to try and join in the party and try and see if they can try and make a move or two. But I think at the moment it's all between Jason 97 F1 and P1R Brown to see what they can do, and SSR Roberts is just going absolutely mental for the start of 2020. The first race of the season is definitely one of the best so far this season, I got to admit. And P1R Brown is going to try it on move on 130R. Oh, he's gone wide! He's gone wide a little bit there. I think it was a bit ambitious there, I think, from P1R Brown, but it would have been a good move. I think he decided to back off a bit there, but if he pulled that move, that would have been insane. But let's see what Jason can do then as he goes round the final corner then. Let's see if he can challenge Pinecone into turn 1. Nope, he backs out off. He has 0 ERS, so I'm guessing he's going to wait pretty soon. He might just wait for probably a surprise moment to try and get the move, with like we've seen with Martin. And whilst this battling's going on, Martin's already pulled a 2.7 second gap between him and Pinecone, so it just goes to show Martin is fast on this circuit.
Hey, Martin is gone. He is driving like a man possessed today. The overtakes we've seen from him have been absolutely astonishing. Just look at this battle. This is what it's all about. AOR in 2020 is reborn, folks. Reborn. This is brilliant stuff. Roberts now trying a Kobayashi up the inside, and he's put the Ferrari nose in there. And you know what? Is he going to do what Martin did earlier in the race to the Williams driver? He might, you know, side by side they go and peeling up Brown. This time, it's just going to hold on as Boberts there was trying the Martin move we've seen earlier in the race, and surprise, picks up another 5-second penalty. Well, he's picked the right race to pick up all these penalties, hasn't he? He's 18 up the road. But look at Boberts now, tucked right up behind P1R Brown. They're all tucked up behind each other. They're all so close to one another. Is there going to be a move here? It's like IndyCar this. And Boberts tries again down the inside. Has he made it work? Still P1R Brown fends him off. Still he holds the line. And still Boberts can't find a way through. Absolutely brilliant defensive driving from P1R Brown. Good measuring there from Boberts, trying good attempts, but both times unable to find a way through.
Jason on Pinecone!
Whoa, what a move, Jess.
Wow, that looked insane, making the move into turn 1, and he made it stick. So Jason up into 3rd place. It's one of his best results of the season so far, if he keeps it like that. The dark horse, really much the dark horse every season, but it's one of his best seasons to date so far. He's doing absolutely incredible, trying to stick it in there as well. And Boberts is just looking for every opportunity to try and get past the Williams driver, but every lap happens, it just gets more difficult for him. But it is not over yet for the Ferrari driver. They wanna try and see what they could do to see what the likes of Michael Schumacher did in Suzuka all those years ago as well, seeing if they can replicate what Michael Schumacher did. But wow, Jason did incredible to try and fend off Pinecone. Pinecone is probably struggling. He's got a bit of wing damage as well, so that's probably why he's struggling just a little bit on his downforce. I think he's got a bit of damage. I mean, that's what someone said in the chat. So yeah, that's why he's probably gonna. Oh, P1R Brown's good. Yeah, he's definitely struggling. He's got P1R Brown on his tail as well. P1R Brown's gonna try and go the outside, but Pinecone defends to the inside. He looks up a little bit there, does Pinecone. But P1R Brown has to wait a little bit longer.
Boberts though picks up a 5-second time penalty. He won't be threatening the likes of Pinecone come the end of this race, but it's all about this one here. P1R Brown then right behind Pinecone, and is he going to breeze past? He is, you know, and this could have a big impact on the championship result. Oh, look at that, Pinecone doing everything he can to fend him off, but he can't fend him off any longer. And through then goes P1R Brown, and I'm going to have to get the calculator out, folks, because I need to remember fastest laps. So 26 times 4 is 104. Yes, it is, isn't it? Right, so the championship gap was 87 going into this, with Pinecone in 5th place. That's 15 points worse off, so that's 103 the gap will go up to. No, 102. So, it's not quite done yet because of the fastest lap. So 5th is still okay for Pinecone to keep it alive, I believe. Let me just calculate that, Jess. You continue. I'm going to do some calculations.
Yeah, I remember I had to do some maths a few weeks ago for Ocean, and I kind of failed. So I'll let you do the maths because you're probably better at it than me. But anyway, let's watch the battle for 5th place as Pinecone can't afford to lose another position. If he loses another position, then that's it. Bobbert is looking tasty towards 130R. But he's not going to try just as of yet. He's got to get the ERS mode higher. He's got to save the battery. He's going to try to anyway. And he's not going to try as of yet. Pinecone has just got to keep on pushing if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive at the moment. Because the likes of Bobbert and Dazzler could be challenging on the back of their hands. We've got 2 more laps to go of this Grand Prix. Look at this. Bobbert is going to try and do a send around the outside. And can Pinecone get the switch back? He's trying to at least. Can he do what Martin does, Bobbert? He's going to try to around the S's. It's going to be tight. Nope. Bobbert doesn't do it. But what a move if it would have been. Bobbert could try here, but I think he wants to play it safe, which is fair enough. But I can see people on Brown. He's
I tell you what, Jess, Peona Brown is, he's right behind Jess, but this is the fact here. 102 points is what the gap will be as things stand. 102, there's 104 points available. So at the moment, Pinecone will be fine. He will still be fine if Bobberts gets through because Bobberts has got time penalties. It's Aaron Dazzler and Flying Rosie he needs to worry about. And we know that Flying Rosie's on fresh tyres. So that is what Pinecone needs to worry about. That is what Surprise is hoping gets ahead of Pinecone. That is what we need to worry about. If Bobberts gets through, it won't make a difference because of time penalties. So let's see if Bobberts can find a way through then. And if he can, Pinecone loses his buffer, and then it's all about whether Aaron and Flying Rosie can dethrone Pinecone's chances. Here comes Bobberts then, right up behind him. Is he going to make that move then? Eventually, Pinecone's all over the road, trying to defend with those destroyed tyres and damaged wing. And surely as look at the Red Bull there behind that, Aaron Dazzler trying to find a way through as well. This is crazy stuff. This has been some race, Jess, hasn't it? As we cross the line to start the penultimate lap, we still don't know if we're going to crown a champion today.
We've had a revamp and a half as well. What a great race to start 2020 so far. It's been absolutely incredible race. The tiers merged to produce a great race so far. It's been brilliant. The F2 drivers in the mix as well, with Aaron Dazzler really showing off his worth at the moment. And he could probably be the dark horse next season if he keeps it up. Bobbert is going to try towards Dunlop, but no. I think Pinecone is just saying, see you later. You're not having that position. Bobbert is going to sit for now. But what about Aaron Dazzler? The more that Bobbert stays behind Pinecone, the more that Aaron is going to try and catch up to these two. And also Flying Rosie, you said earlier, Andy, that he could catch up on those soft tyres, and he is right on the back of them.
Yeah, and so is TST Raikkonen. So 3 of the F2 guys are knocking on the door here of getting ahead of some of the F1 guys. So that's Raikkonen in there, Dazzler. Aaron Dazzler's been there all afternoon, hasn't he? And Flying Rosie leaving it late to join the scene. So all 3 of them trying to push some of these F1 drivers right to the very end of this Grand Prix. Surprise, it started the final lap, but just look at this, going down towards 130R, all in a line, and Bobberts is going to try round the outside with 130R. He's off the road, he's batting wheels as he rejoins, and Bobberts is up the inside. Oh no, that's a mistake. That's a crazy decision there from Flying Rosie, diving in, and they're all making carnage, and that is just an absolute mess down there, and that will surely hand the championship towards Veloci Surprise, because that is absolute chaos, all kicked off by a big mistake there from Flying Rosie, who just went in far too deep, and that was a big error there, and it's gifted Aaron 5th and TST Raikkonen 6th.
Yes, TST Raikkonen, he did a brilliant job trying to avoid that carnage there. I mean, he was at the right place there. We saw his rival struggling, and I was like, you know what, I could have that position. And that will help him get some really good points on his F1 debut. So, brilliant stuff. But yeah, that's definitely hindered Pinecone's chances. Unless this incident might be going to the stewards, I don't know. But yeah, I think Surprise might have just won this championship after that. As we've got Surprise now. He's going towards the Casio Triangle. He will have to wait just a little bit longer to find out if he will be crowned the season 18 world champion. Here he goes, Veloci Surprise. He goes on to win the Japanese Grand Prix, and we've also got his teammate TRL Martin. He's going towards 130R now. He's going to be Alfa Romeo 1-2. Who would have expected that? That's going to be good points for the constructors. Both of the teammates have worked very well this season. Here he goes, TRL Martin in second place. I think that's going to be the same. Jason.
I think Pinecone's just going to keep it alive, Jess. I think Pinecone is just going to keep this alive.
Oh, to penalties, maybe.
On penalties. Oh, no, not anymore. He's not. Not anymore. He's not. He's spun in the final corner.
He's out.
And
he's out.
The wall. And that's it. That is it. Surprise has won the championship then. Well. It looked like he was going to keep it alive. Nope. He's crashed in the final corner of the final lap of the 27-lap race. And after a messy final couple of laps, that's it confirmed. Surprise is champion in the most messiest of ways, Jess. Wow, that was crazy. Just a bit too crazy.
Yes, I'm trying to remember what race actually ended in similar fashion. I think maybe Senna v Prost. Maybe it kind of reminds me of, except Pinecone had a little bit of off himself. He was struggling towards the end there, so he was trying to find the pressure there, and it just got to him, I'm afraid. But here we are, Veloce Surprise. He's done it again. But this time in style. He's on the top step of the podium, and he's won the title. I'm sure he'll be happy with that, and I'm sure the F1 Esports team bosses will be looking at this and say, right, this is the man I want to sign for the Pro Series. I'm sure of it.
Look at that. And 15 seconds worth of penalties. What a race to get 15 seconds worth of penalties. The only race you'd probably get away with that. And he takes the victory, takes the championship. Really messy afternoon for CRG Pinecone, it has to be said. And that is that. TRL Martin with some unbelievable moves during that race. Unbelievable stuff. He was the star of the show, and what turned out to be a messy ending on the racetrack. Jason, 97 F1, great to see him on the podium. It really is fantastic to see that. We always love to see Jason up there. Always puts a consistent performance in. A measured drive as always. Keeps himself out of trouble and brings it home as usual with no penalties in third. P1 Brown, fourth today, 7/10 off the podium with Jason just in front of him. Aaron Dazzler, one of the stars of the show, dazzling his way along to 5th place on debut. TST Raikkonen bringing it home in 6th. Adam, dude, kind of lucky in the end to get home 7th. Well, to be fair, TST Raikkonen and Adam were lucky to come home where they did because of the chaos that ensued. That was all caused by Flying Rosie diving into the side of 2 or 3 cars, who came home in 8th. Bobert's 9th, and SSR Nicole, look at that, point on debut for the first female driver ever in the history of AOR F1, Jess.
You at Pep 1, don't forget. But yeah, Nicole, I think she'll be happy with that. So well done to Nicole there. But is that Surprise's second title of AOR? Because did he win last time? So. Yeah, it's actually second in a row actually. So he's done the double. He's done what the likes of Flying Finn has done in the past as well. He's made history here, folks, in AOR, and definitely well deserved. He's won quite a lot of races this season. He couldn't have gone to a better man.
Absolutely. He was the star of the show. He showed it today, Jess. He really did show how he is the star of the show. How many races is that won? How many is that out of 17 he's won? Let's just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 races out of the 17 so far this season he's won. Star of the show, top dog in the field by a long, long way, and wraps up another title. Well deserved, and today he showed his class. He broke away from Pinecone in that pit stop phase, and just before it as well, in fact, and never looked back. And when he might not have looked back, but we were looking back behind because there was so much going on, and it was a great race to watch. Just a shame the final couple of laps got a little messy, but we can forgive them because what we saw was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if this race is anything to go by, I'm really much looking forward to the rest of the season to see how these guys can measure up for the rest of the season, because it's all going to be for fun now for the Drivers' Championship. It is done and dusted for Veloce Surprise. I'm not sure about the Constructors. I think that's still going easy as well, and there's also midfield battles to decide as well to see who will be best of the rest as well, so it's not far from over yet. But yeah, this is going to be a great towards the end of the season. I'm looking forward to it.
Really looking forward to it, Jess. It's the perfect way to start 2020. We merged F1 together with F2, and boy oh boy, we got some great action. And
Evo won 2 in a row as well.
Evo, sorry, yeah.
Evo,
sorry.
It was Evo and Flying Finn. Sorry about that, guys. We completely forgot about Evo. But yeah, so it's
How could we forget?
Yeah, three double world champions in Xbox One F1. It is great. Oh,
so many different leagues, Jess. It's hard to remember.
I know
who won
that's what it is, Andy. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to be joined by any of the drivers, does it? So I suppose, Jess, it's time to wrap it up, and we head, of course, to the next Grand Prix, which is the Mexican Grand Prix. Sorry, Russia was the last one.
I'm not here next week.
So that means there will be no stream, I believe, because I can't stream.
So the next streamed race will be the USA Grand Prix. So in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. So the USA Grand Prix, folks, 2 weeks' time. Be sure to tune in to that one. Unfortunately, as things stand anyway, we don't have anyone who can stream. Unfortunately, Jess won't be able to make it next week. So, okay, if we might see you next week, but probably not. It's going to be 2 weeks' time for the United States Grand Prix. Be sure to join us then, because today told you everything you needed to know about AOR in 2020. A cracker. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Jess. Surprise is the champion of the world.